Oh, man. Okay, so now as this company begins to grow, first and foremost, we can't talk about every land transaction that you guys have done because there's quite a couple. But you have done some strategic land investments, for example, in Elementaita. That is, I mean, you can count how long Elementaita is in terms of its land by finite God-given parcel, God-given feature. So it's not too much land on that. Talk a little bit about that.
I mean, we how did I discover Elementaita? A friend of mine, Muav, and Fadi, both purchased land on the shores of Elementaita in the early 2000s, I think, or mid 2000s. And
on the shores?
On the shores, yeah, water fronting, especially Muav. I think when he took me there, 1 or 2 of his beacons were underwater because when he bought it, the lake did not have as much water as it does today. And over time, the water levels have swollen and reclaimed land. And I mean, I was blown away by the natural beauty of Elementaita. It's only an hour, 45-minute drive from Nairobi. Easy to get to. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I mean, that's a premium. Talk about unique features. That's a sellable quality because everyone wants something other people can't have. It's part of its value. It's home to over 400 bird species, many of which you can only see at Elementaita. So it's a bird watcher's paradise. People travel from all over the world. A lot of Asians, for some reason, like to come bird watching at Elementaita, and Japanese. I mean, it has so much working for it. Now with the dual carriaging of the Nakuru highway, it's even gonna be faster to get to. So as a secondary weekend getaway location, it's a no-brainer. So we set about looking for land ourselves. And unfortunately, everything on the waterfront tends to be small in size because as many people as possible had to share the waterfront. So we managed to get 6.7 or 6.85 acres with 99 meters of water frontage at Elementaita, right next to Serville Resort, which is next to Pelican Resort. And we bought it from a gentleman who lives next door, Mr. Mohoro, Laban Mohoro, who graciously allowed us to purchase half of his land there. And yeah, we're proud owners of land on the shores of Lake Elementaita.
And just out of curiosity, is that land that you're planning on selling?
Yes, so as with most of our deals, we pooled funds to acquire it with a group of private individuals who are hoping to share in the returns whenever we sold. We had actually thought we could master plan a residential resort compound that we could partner with a homegrown brand like Hemingway's, Hemingway's Elementaita, or Kempinski Elementaita, where we would share revenues. They would license the brand, we would build and design according to their specifications. That was the original plan, but having those discussions has proven difficult, especially in the current economic climate. So we agreed with the investors that it's time. We've held it long enough, since 2014, 2015. Let's sell off the asset. We're master planning it as a residential compound, quarter acres, fully serviced, power, water, landscaping, accessibility, perimeter fence, and we will sell to the discerning investors who want to have a unique piece of Elementaita.
I love it, Solo. I love it.
Yeah, man.
Okay, let's talk about two things. One, the introduction of Goshen Digital. So Goshen Acquisition went hugely digital, and also two, the partnership with Caroline Toko. I'll say that because it's publicly known that not only she an investor in terms of she has bought land from Goshen Acquisitions, which she has said you now also have. Yeah, where does that relationship go to? So what did I ask first? Sorry.
Digital.
Yes, digital. But also, In fact, let's start with this one. Apologies for all this mix-up. Why do you go out of your way to do things differently? I'll talk about the site visit. So you did a site visit and you flew guys in. When I look at your beacons that are on the land, like for example in Karionga, they don't have to be like that. When I look at the beacons that are in Buku, why does Goshen Acquisition go out of their way to do some of these things that they don't necessarily need to do and the land value will still be?
Well, see, I think that's where we beg to differ. We believe they have to be done that way. So there's rhyme and reason for everything. It's not random, because these are costly things. Obviously, as a business person, you want to minimize cost as much as you can. So why take on extra cost if it's not necessary? So, for instance, the issue of the beacons, initially we started doing them as 10-inch diameter, 6 foot tall, concrete steel reinforced beacons.
How much deep?
Yeah, we sink it in the ground 3 feet and it sits up out of the ground 3 feet. At the time, those ones weighed about 250 kilos each. They are insane to try and move around just because of the weight. But by virtue of that also, it's impossible for someone to steal them. And that was informed by a site visit I once did on a piece of land I was scouting. And we hunted for that flat pancake-shaped beacon that is typically done for 2.5 hours in the bushes. And I swore to myself, I'm never wasting time doing that again. And that's when we designed the 6 foot tall beacons, because you can see them from a distance. They're clearly numbered at the top. It's quick, it's efficient. No one can steal them unless they're coming with a bulldozer. And if they do, they deserve a beer for that, or a soda. And it just means also from a practical perspective, in the sense that most of our buyers are what are technically termed as absentee landowners, meaning they own the land but they do not live there or dwell there. It's important for us that our customers feel safe about their lands not being encroached on, and that if they ever do come back on their own, they can easily identify their boundaries independently. And those 6 foot tall beacons tend to ward off any would-be encroachers, because encroachment and squatter situations generally happen not intentionally. Yes, there's malicious situations, but a lot of times people assume the boundary is where it's not because it wasn't clearly demarcated. And by the time you're coming to fix that, they've built something. It becomes a war, messy situation to try and fix. So having those things sticking up out of the ground is an obvious indication that someone owns this space, and it avoids a lot of issues. We have a customer who visited their site in Nanyuki on Sunday. They bought the land in 2016. They haven't been there since, and they were able to find the land. To me, that's a pat on the back that the beacons did their job, because if you're not there, there's no need to fence necessarily. If you're not ready to take on the expense of fencing, those beacons do the job.
Okay, so Lo, I've just gotten a very brilliant idea. I want us to end the interview here. First of all, I've looked at the time. We've been talking. It's dark right now out there, just for you to know. And this conversation still, honestly speaking, I don't want to rush it. There's too much value. We've just started this. I don't want to rush this conversation. We've got probably another 6 hours left worth of conversation. But I want to challenge you. Let's continue this interview on site. Let's continue this interview in a place where people can literally begin to see the story. Does that make sense?
I'm game.
Are you game? You know, because I don't want us to just rush and continue this story for the sake. How about we take part 2 of this conversation to a piece of land, have it out there, you know, in a way that is more visually appealing.
Anytime.
To the people. This conversation, as I told you, you thought it was going to be just a loose 2 hours.
It's taken long.
There's still so much that we need to talk about. Your partnerships with Sauti Soul. We need to talk about the impact that your your land and buying has on the diaspora, because part of your biggest customers who buy land from you is the diaspora. How on earth did you manage to tap into this? We've got to talk about the digital presence of Goshen Acquisitions when it comes to social media, what you guys have done as a business to just empower Kenyans and to market your business from a digital perspective. You've literally just come from a Sauti Sol concert, and these are guys who are sponsors with you. Just Ivy, I'm going to throw that in so that guys can even go to her YouTube channel. There are a few other influencers. I don't want to mention them just because I ain't sure how far they're. But I feel like this
partners.
Yeah, I feel like this conversation still has so much literal meat that we're going to get into. So I don't want us to just end the conversation right now because of time. I want us to keep it at the pace that it is. If you've got any questions for Solomon Wangwe, go into the comment section, ask your question, because we are definitely going to continue this conversation. If you're in the diaspora, go to www.goshenacquisitions.com. It's been scrolling throughout this whole interview. Check out the collaboration that Goshen Acquisition has done with Sauti Sol. Yes, Goshen Acquisition and Sauti Sol actually have a song. Hopefully by the time this is coming up, it's more than just a song. But
yeah, you meant to that.
Yes, but there's so much more in depth into this conversation. As a way for me to tell you thank you, Solomon, first and foremost, a big thank you to Sarova for just the amazing hospitality that they've given us today.
Indeed, yeah.
This room is amazing. The food and the meals that we've had have been absolutely amazing. And Solo, I've got a little something special for you. I've actually got a gift for you. You don't just come to CT and leave. I know you like receiving. So Sarova every single Sunday have an amazing brunch. We call it the bottomless. Okay, I call it the bottomless, but basically it's unlimited food, unlimited bubbly. By that I mean some drinks and just an amazing music and conversation. So not just for you, but you and Aika, you can come because she's been amazing in this journey. So I'm going to give you the complimentary, definitely courtesy of Sarova. But this is a part one of this conversation. Agreed?
Agreed, yeah.
We're going to continue it, and we're not continuing it at Sarova.
Anytime, man. You were saying
we can stop at Sarova
yeah.
and sleep in one of the different Sarova branches.
Sure.
But for me, I just want to say a big thank you for the value that you've given us today.
Anytime.
You never really know people until you take time to know people. And
True.
I've got to know you a little bit better today.
I appreciate it.
Can you give your part one parting shot? You're coming back.
What? Parting shot? I'm not sure.
For part one.
What I can say, except that, first of all, I'm honored to be sitting here, to be an esteemed alumni of the CTA fraternity. Like I said, I'm not sure I qualify to be here, so I'm grateful. Thank you, man. Just the opportunity to share the story. Hopefully it inspires someone to pursue their dream and keep pushing if they're already pursuing it. And for all our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, we feel you, we understand where you're coming from, and we're happy to support your engagement back home, whichever way makes sense for you. And stay tuned for part two.
Yep, and to take us out, here is a collaborative song, a snippet of the collaborative song between Goshen Acquisitions and Sauti Sol. For the full song, you can go to the Goshen Acquisition YouTube channel. Actually, in fact, go to the Goshen Acquisition YouTube channel. The amount of value that you're going to get there is immense. Part 2 coming up after this.
And multiply all your dreams and fantasies, yeah. Go over the ocean, it's Goshen. Oh, when will you realize? Open your eyes, yeah. Over the ocean, Goshen. Baba, ulikuwa wapi? Walipogawa Kenya kama mkate, ulikuwa wapi? Walipogawa Nairobi ka ugali, si tukanywa maji. Walipotangaza mashamba na tukajipata kichakani. Oh, ulikuwa wapi? kitu, na sitoki bila kitu. Mwanangu azaliwe na kakitu, usitoke bila kitu. Aye, kila siku naishi kama sina kitu, mwishowe miniwe na kakitu, atusitoke bila kitu.
I wanna be my home with you. I'm putting all my hope in you. And I could be anywhere in the world, but home is where I'm with you. I wanna be my home with you. I'm putting all my hope in you. And I could be anywhere in the world, but home is where I'm with you.
Baby usijali, tumeona masiku za masika.